You are now listening to the podcast for geeks and the stuff they love, where each week we'll talk about everything from anime to movies, games, and prop collecting with the people who create and love it. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Vince.
I'm James.
And this is your Geek Fix.
You know, I did did you get to see the video that came out fairly recently that I put out, kind of an alternative to our typical get-together as far as the podcast? And I thought, well, this would be a good way to touch base with people, you know, because I haven't done a live stream for a while. I haven't done one of those not quite a live streams for a while. And I thought, this is an opportunity to do that. And then all that it did was make people have more questions, particularly related to the Fallout event, because all that I said was just, I didn't give a ton of information about it. And then people were like, well, what's this? Which I feel like we even did a previous podcast about a year ago.
Yeah, I
went
think we
into
mentioned
depth on it. And yet, but I've got a lot of people asking about it and also what exactly is going to be happening. And honestly, since I did that, I've got more details. So I know exactly what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be, but also some things I'm going to be doing that are going to kind of be special for this channel. And also, I don't know yet what their internet's going to be like. The bar itself might have pretty good Wi-Fi. If it does, then everything can work out. But we're also going to be having a auction out there of stuff, Fallout related stuff. And in fact, I'm going to be auctioning off one of the things that I'm actually making for the event. But at the same time, I don't know if I'm going to be able to live stream that or not, which would be a lot of fun if I could. But
depends on the connection, sadly.
The whole thing, I'll tell you in detail kind of what the whole situation is. So basically, last year, a group of individuals who are major Fallout fans, including the owner of the bar, who is very aware of their role in Fallout New. This is Fallout New Vegas only. Has decided to have this event, which they had last year and was a lot of fun. A lot of people came out, actually a lot of people more than what they had planned. And at the same time, as is true with a lot of these kinds of things, with our population, is that people were really courteous and I will also say, I'll use the word reverend because, all the locations that are in the game are actually in that area. I mean, it actually looks no different than it does in the game because it is, it was designed after that area. But, there's a graveyard in that game. What's that?
Crazy Pete included.
He is. The real guy is actually a person in that town who participated, by the way, last year. I don't know if hopefully he will be this year because I'd like to get that on film. But yeah, I mean, the people, the locations, they even have the graveyard. A lot of people went out to the graveyard, for this reason too, and they were very, very professional. They were very nice. People left shells on the gravestones or flowers and things like that. Nobody left trash behind, which, with events like this, I mean, you look at like Burning Man this year, which every year everyone, questions how that whole thing works out. But I mean, like, no trash left behind. Everyone tipped really well. And it was a fun event, and everyone had a lot of fun getting together. There's also a lot of this is not like a cosplay event, by the way, even though everyone is, people dress up and things like that. I mean, it is meant to be like in world. The owner of the bar, I watched an interview with him, and he said, well, honestly, I kind of pictured it as kind of like in one of the games in one of the games where you actually kind of can pop back and forth between the then and now. And so, there's points where you kind of really feel immersed and you're able to, with other people that you know or with people that you run into, able to go out and reenact different things or to be able to hang out and do things, people playing poker with caps and chips, stuff like that. I mean, so yeah, it's kind of a exciting event at an actual location. However, I will say in game, it makes Goodsprings seem a lot closer to Vegas than it actually is. This is a good 30, 40 minutes away closer to the border of California, really. And so, which my original plan was, I was going to go there for a full week and then I'd pop over to California and go visit our friends over at Prop Store and things like that. The flights from where I am are cheap, which I'll come back to, but you can only fly twice a week. So it's Sundays
Pretty
and
difficult
Thursdays.
or limiting.
So, yeah, I had a choice to go from Sunday to Sunday or Sunday to Thursday or Thursday to Sunday. I'm going Thursday to Sunday so I can be there for the actual event. But at the same time, so there's some kind of cool things about that event. It's 2 full days, so it's Saturday and Sunday this year. Last year, I got invited. This is actually how I found out about it. TK Mantis, who's actually a pretty big figure in the live stream and gameplay world of things, is also somebody that was pretty involved in this event and actually filmed it and stuff last year. He contacted me in comments last year on one of my videos and said, hey, are you going out to this? Why don't you come out? It would be really fun. And I was going at the same time. I was supposed to be in Idaho, at Lake in Idaho. So I couldn't go. But also they held it like in the summer. I mean, it was like one of the hottest days of the year in, Nevada. So it was kind of brutal. But again, all the fans, my understanding is
cosplayed up.
Oh yeah, a lot of fans last year that brought in water and were pretty helpful with one another and staying hydrated and things. But I mean, you could. This is out in the middle of nowhere too. You don't want to get dehydrated or get heat.
It's true.
Related problems out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty exciting event. If you haven't already. I decided to do this little talk now because if anyone out there has the opportunity or is close enough, the event is pretty realistic to get to if you're inside the Southwest for the United States. On the flip side, like what I was talking about, there's a lot of airlines here in the United States that have deals to go in their direct flights. That's the other thing for me is it's more expensive for me to fly to 2 states from here than it is for me to go all the way to Vegas because Vegas actually is who pays for part of that flight. So when you go to the airport or if you buy tickets, they're pretty cheap tickets, particularly depending on which way you're going on which days because they're trying to get you there for certain days of the week. But, the idea is they're trying to get you out there to gamble and buy alcohol. And so, because that's really how they, tax-wise, how they make a lot of money. And from hotels, the crazy thing is, so yeah, I got these cheap flights, $100, and actually this is the more expensive. Normally it's $40 for me to fly out there. November is kind of a popular month, of course, to go to Vegas. So it's $100 each way. So $200 is pretty good. And then my hotel is $40, or you'll see these hotel rates from $30 to $40. You're like, wow, that's a really good deal. But at the same time, the tax and what they call a resort fee is usually $50. So whatever price you see online, you kind of add about $50 to it. That's what probably it's going to be in the end. And then they're also planning on you being there multiple days. Of course, that's also how you get a rate. So if you can stay there 3 nights, which I am, then that's how you get a kind of a cheaper rate too. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole purpose behind it. My original plan was actually to stay at a place called Buffalo Bills, which I got to talk about Buffalo Bills. Really wanted to stay there. It's just past where the event's happening, actually, right, just barely on this side of the border for California. And Buffalo Bills is this giant hotel resort, and it's been around, I think, since the 90s. I can't remember exactly when they built it. But out front, if you look, check this out, James, look at Buffalo Bills Resort in Nevada, and you'll see out front, you'll see this kind of giant fake mountain and a roller coaster. This is what was, and still actually is, one of the tallest roller coasters in the United States. The biggest part of it is you go straight up, and then when you come down, it rolls down, it goes down into the ground even, and then back up and out. And then it's also pretty long. It goes all the way around this resort. That portion isn't as exciting. It's just a lot of ups and downs. But at the same time, they have this cool roller coaster. They had a water flume, things like that. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's giving me major Fallout New Vegas vibes. I'm trying to find the name of the town.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
But it looking at the roller coaster that, like, in one of the photos that I was looking at, like, it seems to go through the building. It reminds me of the town where they have the where you sort of have the first sort of contact with the NCR. You meet depending on where you are in the game, you can meet the character that starts asking you about the Star Sunset Sarsaparilla bottle caps, and where you've got the car where it was the Bonnie and Clyde car.
Bonnie and Clyde. Mm-hmm. So that's there. That is the location.
So
the car is there. So that's the one thing. And that's the only thing now. So part of the reason why I brought this up is that COVID killed this place. So it literally closed completely. And they didn't know if it would open again. A lot of people were really bummed about it because this is kind of like the place to go to. It's out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, honestly, when you get into California, there's quite a ways before you get to civilization as well. So this is between 2 points. This is, the only kind of places along that route. And it's huge. I mean, you can't miss it. And then when you go inside, it's this Old West looking place. They have, it looks like you're, in an Old West town at night. And then it used to be that they had like a little experience museum kind of thing where they had the Bonnie and Clyde stuff. Now the car is just kind of out because they closed off all these areas. So they just barely this year reopened the hotel. The water flume and things is empty. There's no water in it. And the roller coaster isn't yet running. The big question that keeps coming, and the main reason why I was going to go stay there was because I thought it would be really cool to, as far as content goes, how great would it be to go ride the roller coaster, things like that. I am still planning on going by there or trying to go by there just to see the inside. And then, the Bonnie and Clyde cart is literally just sitting out and about. This is, the one that was all shot up and everything. It was featured also.
For anyone shouting at the screen, the location was Prim, and the actual place, or the car wasn't Bonnie and Clyde. It was Vicky and Vinz in
Vicky and Vinz. In this one it's Bonnie and Clyde. This is a Bonnie and Clyde cart.
And I think you could find a submachine gun or something inside of the car.
The funny thing is, though, look at the name. So there's an alternate name for this area.
Here.
Did you see what it is?
Like for the actual Buffalo Bill Resort.
Yeah. Look it up underneath him.
Prim Valley.
Yeah. Prim Valley. Yeah, there you go. So it's kind of like most things in New Vegas. It's like close but not quite the same. So even when we go to if you're watching and if you're really critical about it, when we go to Goodsprings, you'll notice the place where this is located is the Pioneer Saloon. In the game, it's actually called because they even have a spray painted on. Saloon. Oh, in the game they spray paint on something else though. What was it? Let's see. Let's go what it looks like. Salud in Fallout. Like what do they have written on the outside of the building?
It was the Prospector.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But that's. So it's like, they did that with several things. But on the flip side, there's everything else is, it's definitely, there's no mistaking. It's the place that they based it off of. The interior is exactly the same. You look at the roof, you look at the ceiling, you look at the floor, you look at the setup of the bar. It is the same place. They have a little building next door that's actually a cafe. Now, the church is in the game as well. The weird cross that they have.
The general store?
In the town. The general store is nearby. The general store is a cafe there, I think.
Oh, right, that's the cafe.
In real life. And then you got, like you said, you also have, you have the caves are there. Trying to think of what else. What else are the major things you can see and say? Oh, the school. The school is where it's located in Fallout. But if you go there, the school looks pretty modern, looks pretty nice. It's not, because remember, you went into the school in the game, right? And in fact, that's where you
learn how to lockpick.
That's where all the mantises are. In fact, speaking of
the mantises,
yeah. And what else is there? I mean, it's exactly the same, but of course, in the game they had to kind of shrink the world. So I mentioned that it's not located that close to Vegas. If you remember the dinosaur and stuff like that, I mean, that's
Novak.
Also more on the California side of things, closer to Arizona. So they took some things and they had to kind of cluster them together for New Vegas. But if you also consider when our Vegas actually, started and was built and things like that, if we had a nuclear thing that happened around that time, probably it is pretty accurate as far as the size of what New Vegas is and things like that. The stuff that's there is otherwise pretty much the same. But yeah, I'm excited about going out there and doing all that. But I've also been asked about, we've been doing some videos that are kind of working up to this, which is I'm disassembling, I don't even know where it is right now, my Pitboy that I got, to show people how to go through and make theirs just like that one back there. So how to make a working Pitboy. We're doing every single little step. And then I'm also painting it, and I think I already mentioned that I'm painting it to look like a Nuka-Cola Pitboy. And then I've got the Nuka-Cola Thirst, which I'm doing. I have had one I wanted to make working, as in making it shoot the way that the actual one does, shooting water. So I've got that part taken care of. I'll show how to do that. I've got a video on that coming out. And I'm hoping to get it all done well enough in advance before I have to go, because I have to mail the thing. That's the way I figured out how to do this. Mail it, and then I'm going to stick together the last pieces when I get there so that nobody tries to, hold it or anything on its way. And then that way I can actually, get it to the location. My son, Logan, who's been on the show before, he was in our episode where we talked about all sorts of anime and things like that. He's going to be there as well as one of his friends. So we're going to be doing some filming in relation to getting costumes and things like that. I have an actual costume that kind of looks sort of like a milkman. It's going to be a delivery. It's going to be the delivery guy for Nuka-Cola. So it's a white jumpsuit. And so that's what I'll be wearing. And then has a hat too. That part was the easiest thing I think to do for this whole thing. And
you
then
put any custom logos or something on to make it more.
I do. Well, so a couple things. I actually, for up on the front side, I made a badge, used my laser cutter and made a badge that's metal, stainless steel. And so that's on the front side that has the Nuka-Cola stuff and then has my name. And then on the back, I have in red, I have the red Nuka-Cola logo on the back. And then I have the red stripes down the sides, kind of like the Nuka-Cola girl. It made it kind of look like her outfit a little bit. And then I have, and then my Pitboy 3000. The 3000 comes in the, I can't remember. Do you have a 3000, James? Or you just have the 2000?
Yeah, no, I only had the 2000.
Yeah. The 3000 came in this plastic box that looked very in-universe, but it's big too, and it's like this big. And looks like a container from Fallout.
The Fallout 4 special edition.
Yes. Yep. That's the one. Yeah. So I have two of those containers. And so I decided I'm taking one and I'm making it also, so it'll be all red with the white Nuka-Cola stuff on it. And that's going to be strapped to my back. So I've got that strapped to my back. I've got the gun on my side. So I think it'll be a cool looking outfit. But at any rate. So that's what I'll be wearing, in case you're wondering. It's flying it's going to go with the actual Pitboy because, right. So the two things, and they'll be traveling in that container. So that's how I'm getting it all. It's going to cost me to mail it, especially if I end up mailing it last second. Yep, and then I'll just have Logan bring it down to me. But so if you go to the event, that's how you'll find me. That's how I'll be dressed. And then for those that come to me and say that they watch the channel or that they actually, know our channel, I have couple of special things for those people. Half of which I made and the other part I purchased. And that actually do something with your phone. And I'm not sure if I'm going to tell people exactly what they do or if I'm going to see people just find out. Because otherwise they'll probably just think that there's something pretty simple, but they actually make your phone do something. But at any rate, so that's my plan. I've got that. And then I've also got some some Fallout props that I'm going to be hiding around Vegas. And I'll show you guys where I'm hiding them. So if you just happen to be in that area, whether you're going to the event or not, I'll be showing you where I'm hiding them as I go along. And then if you take a picture with yourself with them, that'd be really cool. But that's my other plan is as I visit some different sites, I'll leave some things behind. I got some chips, some Fallout chips, New Vegas chips. I've got plenty of caps, but then I also have some bobbleheads and things like that. Things that I'll be, sticking around the place and hiding. There's also something I think it's called Three Mountains. It's on the way between Vegas and Goodsprings. It's like they look like giant ice cream cones. It's a bunch of rocks, giant rocks that are stuck on top of each other. Or is it called Four Mountains? I can't remember now. But at any rate, it's also there's a lot of sites along the way that are kind of like Route 66 kinds of things, just weird stuff that you take pictures with or whatever. That's one of the places I'm planning on going to too. I'll go to the Stratosphere. I'll stick some stuff there. I'm trying to think of some other New Vegas locations that would be in Vegas. But anyway, so yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be good. It's literally just for the purpose of filming and having fun and meeting people. I'm also coordinated with several people who I know on Instagram or that are well known on Instagram or on YouTube and things that are. Vinz just wrote me. It's not yet, is it? I gotta say, yeah. Yep. We started. Come join us. Anyway, so yeah, it's. I think there's going to be chances to be able to do a lot of fun things that are related to Fallout and to our channel. The YouTuber things. Yeah, I got several people who have already verified with me. One of the people that's involved in this, he literally the only way that anyone ever has seen him is he wears a Boy Scout outfit with the giant the vault boy, yep. Fallout.
Oh yeah.
Head.
Mm-hmm.
And so he looks like a giant bobblehead. Any rate, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting, and I hope you guys will be able to watch it and things like that. And maybe next year, if I go back again, James and Vinz will join me, and we'll do something that's a little longer and probably more involved stuff. But yeah, this is gonna be a quick and dirty trip for sure. But anyway, so yeah, if you feel free and message us, let me know if you are going to be at the event, so I can watch for you. I know several of you, actually, we have several members that are going to be there that I've been communicating with, and so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And for those of you that are in other countries, I also know a few people that, for example, in Australia, if you're stuck in Australia, I get it. But at the same time, maybe you can join us virtually if nothing else. So
if you've enjoyed this podcast and want more, stay tuned for that. But also check out our channel, join the community on YouTube that goes by the same name, your Geek Fix. Be sure to check out Vinz on Twitter at massivedmg_ and on his YouTube channel, massivedmg. Check out James at Mr. Malto4 on Instagram and the Replica Prop Forum. We also want to hear from you, so be sure to send your questions, stories, and other projects to yourgeekfix@gmail.com. In the meantime, this has been your Geek Fix.